Hello, welcome to the video. Today we're going to take a look at another legend team, not even actually legend team. It's a rank 1 in the world team here by Shutaro. This is going to be a team that they played a little bit ago. So let's see if this is still going to work with the current meta of Primeape and Annihilate, which is kind of hilarious because you're going to see Annihilate in the first battle here. And to be fair, the meta didn't really shift too much with the additions of those two Pokemon. We don't really see those Pokemon that often here. And so it's kind of funny that we see it in the first battle, was not planned or anything like this. But yeah, today we're going to take a look at this rank 1 in the world team. And spoiler alerts, this team is really good. I really enjoyed this team a lot here. We're going to have the Drifblim as our closer. We have the Saystop of Tentacruel. And we're going to have in the lead the Pangoro, which is a great Pokemon in the current meta. Having access to the move of Close Combat especially is so much fun in this meta because it is a meta based on bulk mainly, and you have a Pokemon that completely can break through the bulk, and I always love to have stuff like this just to kind of punish those bulky Pokemon that are mainly there sitting, doing nothing for the game most of the time. Stuff like this is always kind of cool to me. And as you can see here, we're going to have the Tentacruel now against the Galarian Moltres. Brave Bird is coming through here, going to knock us out. And we're going to see here, we're going to have the close combat coming up against the opponent's Galarian Moltres, allowing us to get that one shot. In comes again that Sand Slash, and we're just going to go straight for the close combat. The opponent's only hope here is for us to go for our bait. We're not going to give them to that, and so we're going to be able to just knock them out and move on to the next opponent. Drapion, usually going to be a very solid matchup for us. Unless they're running Sludge Bomb, which some might do, we're going to be in a very solid spot, as Close Combat is going to do a ton of damage. We have a neutral fast move, they're actually running Sludge Bomb, but still we're going to be able to survive it. And they swap out into the Venusaur. Big mistake against this team. We're going to have a perfect answer here with the Drifblim against them, and this is going to be fine. As you're going to see here, Frenzy Plant doesn't do any damage. We can go for the Icy Wind, dropping the opponent's attack, and this is going to allow us as well to hopefully put them into range where we can fully farm them down, get a ton of energy in as well with that one here, as we will see the Frenzy Plant coming through. And now we're going to have Icy Wind and a little bit of extra energy even left still for that final, like for the next Pokemon, which is going to be again that Drapion. Going to have to take a big hit here. Icy Wind is coming through, we're going to get them a little bit lower, and they're still forced to go for a crunch against us, allowing us to have a very solid matchup here. We can now swap out back into our Pangoro, which has a ton of energy, and we can see the Talonflame coming in next. This is going to be fine. We're going to go ahead and swap out into a Tentacruel, and we kind of hardball the opponent here in this battle. And we're also running an interesting moveset, by the way. They were not running the Shadow variant of Tentacruel, they were running the normal variant of Tentacruel. I don't know which moveset they had on this Pokemon. The general standard moveset is Scald and Blizzard. We're running the what's called Acid Spray, just to be a little bit more toxic here. And definitely I liked Acid Spray quite a bit, had some decent usage, as you're gonna see here as well. Gonna help us out in this case, as we're going to be able to now let the move go through, and we can just go for Night Slash. We don't even have to go for close combat here. Night Slash is going to be all we need, thanks to the double debuff onto the opponent's defense here. We have the chance to boost as well, which we don't get, but it doesn't matter. Next opponent here, we're going to see the Pangoro up against the Dragonite, which is not ideal, and we're going to get hardwalled straight away with a Registeel. Yeah, I guess the Steel and Dragon core is something that has been around since day one basically of the Go Battle League. It's a very good core. Back in the day you would run Altaria with a Registeel, still Registeel been around the entire time as well. Honestly, I kind of want to make like those videos towards like what is the best Pokemon for each type. Registeel definitely would be one of those that, historically speaking, for Pokemon PvP had one of the biggest impact in PvP for sure. In the Great League, in the Ultra League, not so much in the Master League, luckily. But yeah, very cool Pokemon. Anyway, we're gonna see here the Registeel going for the Zapcan. You might wonder why I decided to go ahead and go into the Drifblim. I'm wondering the same thing right now as well. But yeah, it's not really looking too good for us in this battle. The opponent is going to be able to even go for that move there as well. We just had to hope that our Drifblim is going to be able to deal with the opponent's Dragonite. We can go for one Icy Wind, get the drop onto the opponent's attack. We can still go for another shield here as well. And we just have to hope that we somehow still win the battle just with our Drifblim. We can overfarm by a little bit, go for another Icy Wind, drop the opponent's attack even further, or get the knockout. Let's see. We're going to get the attack drop onto them as they use their final shield as well. We have a little bit of lag, but they can go for the Dragon Claw, which I don't think really mattered for us too much. We try our best to go for the full farm down. It does kind of work out, and they swap out into the Tentacruel. There might actually be still some hope here to win the battle if Tentacruel would get two-shotted by the Shadow Ball. But as we will see here, we still get to another move. This is very close for us. Shadow Ball is going to connect here, and they survive with like 3 Pokemon at 1 HP, which is quite wild. Next opponent, we're going to have the Malamar in the lead. This is going to be a matchup where we can go for a close combat and do a tremendous amounts of damage, but we have to be a bit careful with our Pokemon here, generally speaking, because Malamar has super effective coverage against our entire team. And they're also going to be able to catch the close combat here onto a Tentacruel, which is not ideal. But we can swap out into our Drifblim. So Malamar has super power for our lead, has foul play for our Drifblim, and has Psywave for our Tentacruel, which makes it a very interesting Pokemon to deal with. It's not like that difficult to deal with still, because it's still going to be able to do some neutral damage with all of the moves that we have here on this team as well. But yeah, this Pokemon definitely can be quite tricky sometimes with all of this super effective coverage it has. Here maybe I should have went for the Icy Wind instead, but I decided to try, to go up to the Shadow Ball to force a shield. Did not work out. I can go ahead and go for the bait here. Again, they catch the move again here onto the Weezing. Well played by the opponent. We can swap out into our Tentacruel. Now I'm going to try to go up to most likely a Scald and then go for the Acid Spray. We have to get some extra energy for the final matchup. Brutal Swing is coming through. We're going to go straight for the Acid Spray actually. The opponent could call this bait here as well. Let's see if they're going to do this. They decided to call that as well, and we can now fully farm them down hopefully. We do neutral damage with our Poison Jabs, while they do resisted damage with their fast move, but we have to try to get as much energy as possible. In comes the Acid Spray against the opponent's Malamar, dropping the opponent's defense by 2 stages, or we can go for the Night Slash. That's hopefully enough to knock them out. It is not enough anymore to knock them out, and we're still going to be forced to use a shield here now against the opponent. This is looking quite difficult, but they're still going to have the shield left, which you're going to very likely going to get here now against Zygarde and Weezing, and I'm fairly certain that they're going to be forced to go for whatever other charge move they have that is not Brutal Swing, because Brutal Swing is going to be double resisted here. Let's see, they're going to go for the player of revealing basically their final move here, and we can now knock them out with our Tentacruel. Starting off now with the next battle, we're going to encounter Zygarde and Weezing here in the lead. That's going to be horrible for us. We can swap out though in the Tentacruel. Tentacruel is going to be definitely a great matchup here. And we're going to see the Feraligatr coming in. I actually decided to go for the Scald here while we have Acid Spray, which would be neutral and gives us some potential to farm them down. Scald just does some raw damage here, which might be a bit more beneficial for us, especially as we can take a Hydro Can here from the opponent. This is going to be great. We can still try to go for another charge move, which I now definitely regret, as it's going to be a CMP tie here. I didn't think it would be a CMP tie, and so the opponent is not going to be able to align themselves. I can align myself, but I would most likely be able to also align myself without going for the charge move here. In comes a Pokemon that I don't like. It's going to be Walrein. Walrein going to be a bit tricky for us to deal with our Drifblim in the back, and so we're going to swap out into our Pangoro. We have to take a hit. They're very likely going to swap out straight away, and so we swap out as well. Now it's down to Drifblim against the Weezing, but we are in a very difficult spot here now, as the opponent has access to the super effective Brutal Swing, and we at least still get the Icy Wind off before they can get their first charge move in against us, as we shielded one move up already. But now we're going to be forced to go for the full farm down, and we're still going to have to deal with the Walrein afterwards, and that is going to be a bit of a trickier one, I have to say. So what we have to do here now is we're going to have to go for the full farm down, let the move go through, try to go for the Icy Wind against the Walrein to try to also get the shield from the opponent, and then swap out back into the Pangoro. But we also have to kind of hope that we can still take 2 hits here. It's going to be a very tough battle to win. So, as we will see, the opponent goes for the charge move here, basically straight away. We see that we don't survive another one, and so our only play is to go for back-to-back Night Slashes. I know that the opponent gonna CMP tie now with me on the next one, and so I go straight for this one here as well. As you're gonna see, the opponent didn't go for fast move animation, means it's a CMP tie. We win the CMP tie, we get them low, and they're still at the -1 attack. This might be my savior here, because now I can go into my Drifblim, go for the full Astonish down, and I can get the knockout. But can we still knock out the Weezing as well? We can move on to the next opponent. Next opponent here, we're going to have a Drapion against us in the lead. That is not going to be ideal at all, but again, it's actually okay. It's totally fine, to be fair. We're going to let the move go through. Let's see if it's a Sludge Bomb or if it's the Awkward Tail. It's a Sludge Bomb. I actually don't even know which one I like more or less, because I feel like both are kind of fine. We see the claws coming through. I make a mistake here. I make a mistake, and there's something that is stuff that you just learn if you play the team for a little bit longer. Apparently, a normal Drapion survives a close combat and a Night Slash. I didn't know this. They survived with 1 HP in a Dream. And this can be very impactful for the battle now, because I don't have alignment anymore. We see the Feraligatr coming in. We're gonna see the Donphan coming in. And you see already why this is so impactful, because now the Donphan is going to be aligned perfectly against this one, and otherwise I would have been able to align my team perfectly against the opponent. And so this kind of showcases again as well, like those battles here that I do sometimes are mainly losses because I just don't have the experience with the team yet, because I change my team every like 2 to 3 sets. And for you, if you play this team like this one, which I would really recommend you, like it's a great team, it's got to rank 1 in the world for a good reason, to be fair. like if you play a team for a little bit longer, you're just going to have those matchups that you know that you're going to be able to win or lose, or like what you have to do there, or where you want to play maybe a little bit safer, like going for a back-to-back close combat itself, going for a close combat and then a Night Slash. Stuff like this is just very important for winning certain battles, and here we are in such a difficult spot to win this one now. We still might have a chance here, but I am fairly certain that they're going to have another Hydro Cannon installed very soon as well. First Hydro Cannon coming through, we're going to try our best to fully farm them down. It actually does work out, and we still win the battle, so good game to the opponent. Next opponent, we're going to have a Zygarde complete form. I am still at like, what, 10 cells of this Pokemon? I highly doubt that I'm ever going to get a Zygarde complete form. Honestly, just the root feature, I don't really see like the point of it. I really wish that the root feature had a little bit more of features with it than just like following a certain route, and in the end you have a chance to get a Zygarde cell. That would be kind of nice to have like a little bit more going on towards it. But yeah, maybe in the future. I'm actually at 32 Zygarde cells, so I'm not even that bad. I thought I would be worse than this. But yeah, as you can see, we're gonna get the knockout against the opponent Zygarde. In comes Feraligatr. I swap out. Show maybe not swap out. I'm not too sure. It's going to be a bit of a tough matchup now. We're gonna go for the Scald. I don't think I actually got a single Scald debuff with my Tentacool the entire battle that I did here. Why it's so important again, like debuffs are actually quite important in terms of how matchups gonna work out. For example here, if I got the debuff on Scald, the Zap Cannon would have never put me into range where they could even farm me down afterwards, and I would be able to go for even another Scald, putting them into range where I could even carry, chop them down. Stuff like this is just very impactful. So like if you repetitively don't get the 30% chance there, I'm just going to change some matchups. Like it is just what it is. That's just how the game kind of works. Here I have to kind of hope that they have Crunch and I have to kind of catch a Crunch, but like usually they have Ice Beam. Let's see what the opponent gonna do here. They're actually gonna be able to go for the charge move here anyway. It's going to be the Crunch. If I caught the move, that would have been great. I had to try to go for the Night Slash here to have like a little bit of a cheeky sneak in there, but I didn't get this through. And so sadly we're gonna lose this battle, and we can move on to the second to last battle for today. So Cresselia, this you might think is going to be a good matchup, but it depends on what kind of moveset they have. It's either going to be usually the Future Sight or the Moonblast, and then of course with Grassland. Grassland, the legacy move, the move that you need to hit like those water and ground type Pokemon, especially in the Smackdown meta. Like it's very important to have this move. That's at least what you might think, but there are actually quite a lot of Cresselias currently running around that are running both Moonblast as well as Future Sight, which guarantees you a hard-hitting damage no matter what. It makes kind of like the guessing game go away, because yes, maybe I think Moonblast is like 5 less energy than the Future Sight, but like, do you want to risk it? Like, you're already up there anyway, you generate energy quite fast, so you always go for like the big hard-hitting move, which is like one of the appeal of the Cresselia in this kind of way. And so here we are kind of hoping at this point, we have to hope at this point, that the opponent is not running that moveset. We have to hope that it's going to be the Grassland moveset, but we'll find out shortly if it's going to be the case or not. As we will see here now, the opponent's Talonflame, I will let the move go through. I kind of have to rely here at this point at my Pangoro. Pangoro is the only way of me winning this battle. And as you can see here, we're gonna have the Shadow Ball coming through. We're gonna get the shield from the opponent. Kind of unfortunate. I was hoping they would let the move go through, but they decided to go for another charge move. It's going to be the Fly, and I make another mistake. I decided to only go for one fast move here, and you might think, oh, where's the issue? Like, you're at 100 energy. If I went for one extra fast move here, which I could have done already, I would have still kept the shield. I would have had a ton of energy against the opponent, and I maybe would have been able to win the battle. And again, like, this is a mistake that I did in the battle, and definitely with the attack boost here, another Night Slash would have easily knocked out the opponent. And so I misplayed this one. I didn't have to use a shield there, but I did. And so it is what it is. We lose the battle, and that's all down to a small misplay by me. And that's the thing as well, like, always kind of know where your losses are coming from. Be harsh to yourself. Like, if you see like small misplays that you do, for example here in this case, I could have went for 2 fast moves before against the Talonflame. I would have knocked out the Talonflame then with the Night Slash. I had the shield and 2 Night Slashes stored for the Cresselia. I would have won the battle quite easily there, but because I wasn't able to do this, because I only went for 1 fast move, which was a little bit silly there, I was not able to actually, win the battle there. Like, this is an issue for me. There are sometimes issues where it's going to be, you just get hard rolled from the opponent, there's nothing that you can do. There's sometimes going to be issues where it's lag from Niantic. Stuff like this, you just have to be honest with yourself, because otherwise you're not going to be able to improve your gameplay. You need to kind of know where your losses are coming from. If it's a you issue in terms of, oh, okay, I made a mistake there. If it's a team issue, then you have to maybe change the team there. The only thing that you cannot really improve is if it's like dependent, but like that is what it is. It's the game that we play. But yeah, that's the easiest way of kind of trying to get a little bit better at PvP, is just trying to be honest, seeing where your mistakes are, seeing where you lost it. And that's kind of also the way I got kind of a bit better, I guess, in PvP over, what, now 4 years? So yeah, that's definitely, like, I started with like next to no knowledge in PvP as well. And it's just like constant improvement is the only way of really climbing. Anyway, what we're gonna see here, final battle, we're going to have the Pangoro going for a shield. Hydrocannon coming through, expect the swap from the opponent swaps, and with this we're going to have a close combat for the final one, but we can also go ahead and go for the acid spray here, drop the opponent's defense, so even a night session is going to be enough. And what I want to see here is if I can get a nice boost here after the opponent gets knocked out already, because they guarantee win the last battle here. And yes, we're gonna be able to do that, and with this it's going to be a good game. Thanks all for watching, see you in the next video, and yeah, bye bye.